Hey guys, welcome back to Woods Tree Farm. Today we're actually going to do some tree farming. Just got my shipment of cypress trees. We have some Arizona cypress, the Carolina sapphire variety, and some Murray cypress in here. We've got a couple hundred trees all together. These are 1 quart trees. We'll take a look at them in a minute. I sat them here in this spot on purpose because it's an unusually warm week here, and there is actually rain in the forecast tomorrow, and the bulk of our planting is going to happen after the rain passes in the next couple days. So I'll probably do a little bit of planting here today in this video with the time that I have, but I want to unpack all of these, get them out of the boxes. If it rains tomorrow, they'll get a little bit of watering. And we are right here next to my kiln on the north side of this building where these plants can stay in the shade in this unusually hot, sunny weather that we're having here in March. It's almost 80 degrees today, which is super unusual this time of year. But it always seems to happen when I'm expecting trees to come. It's one of the hottest days, and my biggest worry is that these things are going to get stuck on a truck somewhere and they're going to bake in the sun in a hot truck or a hot trailer somewhere. But these showed up on time early in the day, so I know they didn't sit on the truck too long. So these are Carolina sapphires. They look nice. It's actually the first time we've gotten these from this supplier. The last time we got these was a couple years ago, and they were only like this tall and they were in little 2-inch pots. And the first year keeping track of them in the field was really difficult. And the fact that these are staked for their first year or so in the pot means we've got a nice straight trunk to work with, or at least to start with already. These are our Murray cypress, and these are going to be a little bit bigger because they're slightly faster growing, but same size pot. This is the first time we've gotten trees from them where there's still stakes in the container, which I don't mind at all. It's actually very helpful. I wonder if on previous shipments they pulled all the stakes before they sent it to us, because this is probably, it's at least the 3rd or 4th time we've ordered from this place. So I got everything opened up, standing up, and hopefully we'll get a little bit of rain tomorrow. These will get a little water. A couple of them are starting to dry out pretty good. So if they don't get water, then we're gonna need to give them some. But I'm gonna go ahead and plant a few of these now. And I don't have a lot of time this afternoon because I do also need to deliver some firewood. But I'll show you what we're looking for when we plant them, how we plant them, and a couple things that we do in order to prep the tree to be planted. So now we're in a section of the field close to the pond here where our biggest cypress trees are. And there were a bunch of trees that got harvested in this area this past Christmas. So I've already come through and cut these stumps down at ground level. You can probably see a couple right in here. And all we're gonna do is just jump about 3 feet away from each of these stumps, staying in the same row, and plant a new tree right there. When we pull a tree out, we're just looking for one main thing really, and that is which of these lower branches can be trimmed off. Certainly this one and these next several up to, I generally do about that far, though that's not really as far of or as tall of a handle as the tree needs. So I usually end up coming back a year or 2 later and trimming off more, but for now at least we'll do at least about 6 to 8 inches or so. Okay, all those branches removed. Now we can just rake up our soil and pack it around. Not much to it. While I'm repacking this hole, I am looking for grubs. We've had problems with grubs in the past, and I didn't see any in this one, but I'll keep an eye out. And we might just have them under control, or it might just be the soil still too cold and they're down deeper than this hole that I dug. That's one down, 299 more to go. Almost forgot to trim. Now that I've done this a few years, I've become a lot less particular how these go in the ground. They just need to get in the ground, especially the cypress. The survival rate, for me at least, has been exceptionally well, and the fact that they're shipped with soil and their roots are well contained within that soil, it's very easy just to pull the trees out of the pot and put them into the ground. And unless they're really heavily root bound, I don't feel any need at all to break those roots up at all. We just put it right in the hole. Now, I have gotten more aggressive with how much I trim off to create that handle for the bottom of the Christmas tree. For example, here's a little Murray cypress that we planted last year. This was a quart-sized tree last year. So it grew, 2 feet or so that first year. And there's still a lot of branches at the bottom that we could trim off. And we are moving to a true kind of interplanting setup here. And all that really means is we are planting little trees amongst interplanted with our bigger trees. And what I'm starting to do now that I have some full-size trees, here's one for example that should get harvested this upcoming year. So we're going to go ahead and flank a new seedling on each side of this tree. So what we'll do through this section is literally just go up and down every single row and look for a gap to put a tree. There won't be that many to do in here. Last year I think we sold 70 or so trees total, and that included some of our Carolina sapphire. So that's all that was cut from the field, and I have several hundred new trees to put in. So we will need to create some new space or some new blocks of trees with some of those that came in, and we'll get into that this upcoming weekend when the whole family is here to assist with the trees. But I can today continue to go through this section. There's a nice big gap right there, a gap for 2 trees here, another gap over there, and so on. And we'll get at least a few dozen of these trees into the ground, into this established section, and then we'll be able to move into a new section. We are in our 6th year, so I feel like I kind of starting to know what I'm doing. And this past Christmas was our 2nd Christmas harvesting any of our own trees off of our property. And of course we've been selling pre-cut trees for 6 years, and we're pretty good at that. But the actual growing part and harvesting part is certainly a lot more challenging, which we learned very hard the first couple years that we were doing this. But now we've got kind of our soil in good shape, we've got our species selection down, our survival rates are on the up and up, and things are starting to look pretty good around here. I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for spending a little time with me today, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.